do you have any suggestions to heal the gallbladder and severe constipation? I have quit going to mainstream doctors because all any of them want to do is constant testing, remove organs, and put me on medications. There has to be a better way for my body to heal. Thank you for any suggestions. And there is. So coming from someone that used to suffer from severe constipation, I can tell you it's a real doozy. Chronic severe constipation can have someone not have any bowel movements for several weeks on end. And take it from me personally, you know, people that suffer with severe chronic constipation usually have to turn to things like laxatives, or, you know, I remember, like, not fondly, when it got really, really bad, I hadn't had a bowel movement in about 3 weeks, and I was suffering so much, I was in so much pain, and I was just suffering so much. And so I remember going to the ER and they just prescribed me this huge vat of liquid that smelled like Elmer's glue and told me to drink it, drink like a full glass every single 15 minutes in order to go to the bathroom. And I felt so sick to my stomach. It didn't heal the root problem, and it just had me doing like diarrhea for the next week. But then after that, the constipation came back, you know, so you're not addressing the root problem here. So here's what I'm going to say about what causes chronic constipation. There's a few root causes to chronic constipation. Number one, interstitial lymphatic constipation within the bowel wall. So if your lymph system has backed up so much to the point where there's major dehydration happening within your colon, that dehydration can have things very locked up, and you can have trouble moving your stools and having bowel movements. So chronic constipation can have its roots in interstitial lymphatic constipation. That's actually the worst kind of constipation, because it means that the entirety of your bowel inside the bowel wall is just acids chewing up on the bowel wall. And that can create, you know, if you don't move your lymph, if you don't get rid of the acids, then that can create things like colon cancer later on, or even other colon or gastrointestinal issues like IBS or Crohn's, which is the setup before colon cancer. So there's different stages. First, someone will be, you know, constipated every once in a while. Next, they will become chronically constipated or have diarrhea. They're one and the same, really. Next, they would have something like IBS symptoms or Crohn's disease, or ulcerative colitis, even worse, when there's been ulcerations. And that's just the chronic stage. The last stage would be something like colon cancer or stomach cancer. So this is something that we must take very seriously. And most people in society don't know that they're actually constipated. But we as humans should be moving our bowels 3 to 4 times a day. For as many meals that you have during the daytime, or, you know, like throughout the day, you should actually be excreting your stools that many times. So for instance, if you're having 3 meals a day, you should be going to the bathroom 3 times. But most people maybe only go once a day. Some people only go a few times during the week. Even 2 times a day is still being constipated, being backed up. So with detoxification, you turn your focus to actually moving your bowels 3 to 4 times a day. That's when you'll have the most success. So I discussed the first root cause of chronic constipation is that dehydration, that interstitial lymph constipation. The second root cause of chronic constipation or severe constipation would be having an adrenal gland weakness. This was definitely the case for me, and this is what I see in a lot of clients that come to me. When your adrenal glands are weak, you are having trouble producing neurotransmitters. And these neurotransmitters travel through the nervous system that, you know, all the nerves are running through the bowel wall, and then the adrenal stimulates peristalsis to move the stools along. When you're in a relaxed state, these neurotransmitters are released. That creates that muscle movement to push the stools along within your bowels. So that's why when you're like very stressed, if you can be very constipated, sometimes people have a flipping back and forth. If they're very stressed, then they can actually go to the bathroom then. So we see both sides. We can see like stress creating constipation, or stress actually you know, creating the need to go to the bathroom. But either way, that's definitely coming from your adrenal glands. So you can look in your eyes. At 6 o'clock, if you see a chronic lesion or a dark line in your eyes at 6 o'clock, then that means that you have an adrenal gland weakness. If you see nerve rings going around your iris, the colored part of your iris, and they'll look like concentric circles, those are nerve rings. That means that you have a weakness in your autonomic nervous system, and that is influencing your bowel movements and causing constipation issues. So those are like the two main issues, two main causes that I see, and I'm going to tell you how you can help heal yourself from this. Number one, you really have to look at your eyes. If you have a chronic adrenal gland weakness, or if it's genetic, you need a strong adrenal gland formula, and you need to stay on that for a while. Depending on how deep your weakness is, or if it's genetic, you'd either need an adrenal gland formula, an herbal formula, or an adrenal glandular. And depending on your other symptomology of adrenal gland weakness, or if you have low blood pressure, or if it's you know, not that low, then I would say adrenal 200 or adrenal 400 glandular is what you would need. But guys, I really advise not using glandulars unless you're under the supervision of a detox specialist that is experienced in using glandulars and has a lot of knowledge around that subject. So because I've seen people, clients have come to me not having known how to use the glandulars, and they've gotten themselves into trouble. So you know, they're very temporary, and it's really just to help that gland or organ remember how to genetically function again, because so many of our glands are weak. And I see this all the time. People have genetically weak adrenal glands. Like 8 out of 10 people have genetically weak adrenal glands that come to us. So the adrenals are very, very important in all the roles that they do for the human body. So you got to fix that. And then the most important one actually is ridding your body of that acidic cellular waste, that cellular sewage that has gathered around your bowel wall. And how do you do that? You're going to do that by getting your kidneys to filter consistently, as soon as you possibly can, to see them filter. And what causes poor kidney filtration is actually going to be gland weaknesses. What we usually see is this chain of command that's being down, and you can definitely see this in the eyes where you're weak. You'll either have a pituitary weakness or adrenal weakness or kidney weakness that's going to be hindering your kidney filtration. So wherever you have those weaknesses, you need to take those corresponding herbal formulas to help perk up those weaknesses and help cellular regeneration to happen. Now, all these herbal formulas are not going to work at cellular regeneration unless you are following a raw diet, or transitioning into a high raw diet and then following a raw diet. So really, it's like a triad. It's raw foods, it's the weaknesses that you see in your iridology and your health history that provides that valuable information, and then the herbs too. The herbs are there to help support you on your detox journey, while at the same time, you know, like support you in combating detox symptoms or fatigue or things like that, while at the same time helping your cells to regenerate and actually fully heal, right? So there's like all those elements that go into healing. That's super important. But going back to more of the herbal formulas, if you're chronically constipated, I would really recommend a GI Renew formula, and it will really depend on how many bowel movements you're currently having. So if you're someone that you're very, very constipated, so like let's say if you only have one bowel movement every few days, then you would probably need a GI Renew number 5 or number 4. If you're someone that has a bowel movement once a day, you'd probably need number 3. If you're having like 2 to 3 bowel movements a day, number 2 would be good for you. If you're someone that has loose stools, number 1 would be good for you. That's going like 4 to 5 times a day with loose stools. And if it's like constant diarrhea, you would need number 0. You would need that stopping power. So GI Renew is essential. And then once you get your bowels really moving, then I would recommend the GI Broom, because a lot of the times, guys, when people have like sulfur stuck in their gut, stuck in their colon wall from past use of antibiotics or sulfur preservatives or sulfur drugs or, you know, wine or, you know, whatever, wherever you get the sulfur from initially, then that can dehydrate and lock the lymph system within the colon, preventing your body from eliminating the acidic sewage. You know, that's what's causing you the dehydration and constipation in the first place. So you would definitely want to utilize the GI broom. Once you get your bowels moving 3 to 4 times a day comfortably on the GI Renew formula, then you go and include the GI broom. I recommend the GI broom powder. The powder is a lot more powerful than the capsules. People have used the capsules before and not seen any mucoid plaque come out until they use the powder. Then they see mucoid plaque come out, right? So to relieve your constipation issues, you would want to see mucus, mucoid plaque, any sulfur if you have it, start to come out of your bowels. And you need to look for these signs when you go to the bathroom. That's when you know you're really reaching it. If you are not seeing those signs of elimination of obstructions, then you have to dig deeper into your detox. You know, sometimes it takes a little bit of time on the raw diet, maybe like a month or 2 months to start to see mucoid plaque, but you should really generally start to see mucus in the very least come out within the first few weeks of following a raw diet or, you know, raw diet with your herbal protocol. So that's what I would really recommend is those formulas. You know how we mentioned the nerve rings before and the weakness in the autonomic nervous system. I would also put the brain and nerve formula in there too. So brain and nerve, adrenals, GI Renew, GI broom, and then depending on your level of kidney weakness and adrenal weakness, you would want adrenal glandular or adrenal formula or kidney glandular kidney formula, right? And then probably a lymphatic formula as well. If your kidneys are filtering, you'll be able to handle a lymphatic formula. So that's how you heal chronic constipation issues. And sometimes it'll be very up and down. Sometimes you'll be constipated. Sometimes you'll, you know, have loose stools. It can be back and forth, back and forth. But over time, your body will adjust, okay? Now, if you find yourself being very constipated on the raw diet or while you're fasting, for instance, and like let's say if for some reason the herbal formulas aren't working, which that almost never happens, then you can do an enema as an emergency, like for an emergency situation, but not coffee enemas. I do not recommend coffee enemas. Coffee enemas burn out the adrenal glands, so no coffee enemas. Only like a water enema or an herbal tea type of enema, like let's say the Heal tea enema, and that would be okay. And you know, when you transition into the raw diet, like for the first month or 2, it would be a good idea to just get a colonic, just to relieve the body after a few weeks of following the raw diet, just to relieve the body of any old hardened stools. It would be a good idea to get a colonic, but go gentle if it's your first time. Like, don't try and be like Superman and try to get rid of everything all in one session. But yeah, that's what I would really recommend for your severe constipation issues. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, for chronic constipation, the fruits that help relieve constipation issues, or the raw foods, watermelon, if it's in season for you, eating tons of watermelon will, you know, unclog that, because any sort of melons actually, but watermelon in particular relieves constipation the best. It goes in there, it's highly alkalizing, high in fiber, water rich, and it just, whoop, it just acts like as like a broom through the colon. So watermelon is great. Something else that people, you know, have had good experiences with is just juicing beets. Beet juice, or like an apple beet juice combination, can usually also relieve constipation. Although if you're new to raw foods, then that might be really detoxifying, and you can feel like, oh, you know, acids like moving to your kidneys, because the beets really are really big healers of the kidneys. So you know, I'm trying to like create like a well-rounded answer for you, but you didn't say what you're eating right now or what level of detox you are on. So I'm kind of like giving you all the answers based on what situation you would be in right now in terms of your diet, right? So you can do that beet juice. And you know, another thing is celery juice too. Drinking celery juice or celery apple juice can act as a broom as well, because the high mineral content in the celery actually helps relax the adrenal glands and can help you go to the bathroom too. So a lot of people, when they have constipation, they'll turn to things like magnesium or magnesium powders to try and also go to the bathroom as well. But that's a big no-no, because magnesium is an isolated compound. Magnesium will start to leach other minerals out of your body. So you don't want to take magnesium, but you can take magnesium in the form of whole foods. So celery is high in magnesium, high in sodium, high in essential minerals, and very healing to the adrenal glands. So that's why, you know, you have like this whole celery craze going on to heal the GI tract and the adrenals and things like that. But really, there's only so much you can do with celery. You can only go so far. Really, where you're going to heal the root cause of your symptoms is from the astringency of the fruits that will pull on the lymph system, because in all honesty, the celery doesn't really pull on the lymph system like watermelon does or like grapes do. So you just use it whenever you feel like you need it, but don't base your entire diet around it. Don't take it every single day. And no, you don't need to turn to doctors. You don't need to turn to them, because all of them, all they'll just do is recommend medications. They actually don't even believe that diet plays a part in our health at all. Most doctors do not believe that if you change your diet, the condition of your symptoms will improve. And that's really sad. And what that tells me is that these doctors do not have any personal experience with healing themselves whatsoever. So who would you rather go to? Someone that has personal experience with healing the same health issues that you have and did it successfully? Or someone that's just going to give you medications and create more toxicity in your body and has no idea what you're feeling, what you're going through, because they haven't gone through it themselves, or they haven't even seen any of their patients actually heal from it, right? Don't get me wrong, you don't have to have gone through something personally in order to help someone else heal, but you should at least have some success stories of having seen other people heal. Doctors just don't have that, which is why so many people are turning to natural healing and finding their own way in the world when it comes to being their own doctors. Doctors are really there for emergency cases. So for surgeries, great, fantastic. If you need unnecessary surgery, because a lot of surgeries are unnecessary, like removing your gallbladder, most of the time that's really unnecessary. You can just detox the gallbladder, detox the liver or gallstones pretty easily just by changing your diet. But, you know, some surgeries are necessary. You know, if you're in an accident, they're great there, or great emergency healthcare. But most of the time, just the pushing of the medications, the pushing of the drugs, keeping you on them long-term for chronic diseases, that just doesn't cut it anymore. Just doesn't cut it anymore. More and more people are dying by the day just from these medications that lock the lymph system, that make conditions worse, that give you more symptoms on top of what you had already from the side effects. So yeah. But yeah, I really feel for you, because I had the same health issues. So I hope that answered your question. And if you want more help, then, you know, I'm here to help you. You can email me, you can ask me a question. You know, if you want to work with me, you can also get on our services page for that. So yeah, so I hope I answered your question. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate that all of you are so involved in your health and in your healing, because the more people that step up into their power to heal their health issues, the better this planet will be, the better humanity will be, you know? And never let anyone tell you that you can't do something, because if you have the want to do something, just by having that want means that it is possible for you. It is possible for you to achieve that outcome. That's very important. It's about having the right mindset when coming into this detoxification program, okay? And that goes for any area of your life, whether that's a goal that you want to reach, or a dream, or any of your ambitions, or your health goals, anything at all. You can achieve whatever you want if you have that urge right in the first place, because the universe or God or whatever you want to believe in wouldn't have put that within your heart if you couldn't achieve it, right? So I'll leave you guys with that. And if any of you would like to work with me one-on-one, you can go to www.spiritualhealing.com. On that page, if you go to the services tab, you'll find the Master Your Health package. And in that package brings everything that you need to get started on your healing detox journey, to finally resolve all your health issues, to finally start on the journey to truly heal your health issues or your disease conditions. So in that package, the package brings a consultation with me one-on-one, and it also brings a diet protocol specific to your case, an herbal protocol specific to your health issues, as well as detox tools that you may need during your detox journey, like we discussed in this video before, to you know, help your detox symptoms or to enhance your detoxification experience. And of course, it also brings the iridology analysis, which I go through in our calls. I point out all the different weaknesses, things that you can expect during your detox, what's causing you your health issues, and everything. So yeah, we have a lot of fun in the detox consultations, and I absolutely love talking to all of you that, you know, so many of you say that you've seen my videos for, like, you know, most of you say that you've seen all my videos, which I'm so honored. Thank you so much. But yeah, it's like really fun when we get to talk about everything. And you know, I'm so happy that I'm able to provide hope for all of you. But it's not just empty hope, it's actual hope. It's actually real. Like, you can accomplish healing through detoxification. Okay, so guys, I'll leave the links down below. I'll leave the website to our services down below. And like I said before, if you have any questions that you want me to answer in the next Q&A video, leave them in the comment section down below. And then, you know, next time I record a Q&A video, I will answer them. Okay, so I love you all. Thank you so much, and take care. Bye.